All right, hello. Welcome to the channel. I'm LakeLife951. Today we're going to be going over the daily exotic export uh, mission, side quest, daily challenge, whatever you want to put it. And I'm going to be giving you some tips and tricks on how to do this. First, you need to own an auto shop. All right, which is where we're at right now. So we're going to be going into our auto shop and we'll continue in there. All right, now that we're out of all the sounds of everyone honking and talking outside, first, you do not need to come to your auto shop to start this. I'm going to go through the tips and tricks and some ground guidelines that you want to follow before we start the video so you don't waste your time. If you don't have the stuff to do it, just stop now and, well, watch and see what they are first, and then stop if you don't have it. Get them, buy it, do whatever to make your life a lot easier, and then come back and try to do this. Okay. The first thing we're going to be talking about is, like I said, you must own an auto shop and have done a contract for it. Once you have done that, then a list will appear on the blackboard right here. Okay. You're going to have a list. It refreshes every day, which we will get to. Okay, but you need to make sure you own the auto shop and have done a contract for it in order to get this list. All right. Second thing, you want to make sure you are doing this in an invite only lobby. All right. It is a must. You can have friends try to help you. If they don't care about doing it, they could fly around and try to see what shows up on their blips, but there is a specific order which we will talk to. Okay. Second thing is know when the Rockstar day starts for you. For me, it's 11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which I'm on the West Coast of the United States. It's 11 p.m. for me. It is 6 a.m. or 0600 for Universal Time Code. So wherever you are at in the world, make sure you know what that time is that the Rockstar day resets for you. If you're not sure what I mean by that, it is not the in-game day that rotates every 48 minutes. It is the actual day that Rockstar has that all the daily challenges come out. If you're not sure, you could come in here and go to challenges and daily challenges. This should change every single day when there's daily challenges. You also should get a call saying, hey, there's new contracts available on your board. Simeon usually sends you a text saying, hey, look for these vehicles for me, yada, yada, yada. Make sure you know when the Rockstar day starts for you. You do not want to start this 10 minutes before the day ends and then find one or two vehicles, export them, and you just wasted your time, because then it's going to reset the list. You cannot start one list and complete it the next day. It has to be done in a 24-hour Rockstar day. That's why it's important to know when your day starts. Okay, that's the biggest thing. All right, 2, you want to make sure that you have a fast air vehicle. I say air vehicle, you can do it with maybe a drag bike, something that's fast on the ground. However, it's going to take you probably 2 or 3 times as long to do it. You want to make sure you have something in the air. I am going to be using the Raiju that you saw outside. However, they have specific spawn points. What I meant by dedicated spawn locations is that jet does not spawn in near you. They have dedicated spots, just like every other aircraft in the game. There's certain spawn locations that the aircraft are set to spawn at. It's not just random. It's not just whatever. It's whatever's closest to you, but in a dedicated spot that the game has set for aircraft to spawn in. So it's not that big of a deal, because if you get a vehicle and drive it to the docks, your aircraft should spawn in over at the docks when you request it. You might have to run a couple 100 feet, but it will be over there. The biggest issue is if you're in the process of delivering a vehicle and you crash the vehicle and destroy it. It's very hard to do, but if you destroy it, you may not be able to, one, get that vehicle back. You might have to start another session. Stay in the sessions as long as you can. Like, I have left and came back and completed it, but just do it all in one session. You'll make your life a lot easier. I have destroyed a vehicle. The very first one I picked up, I ended up going into the water on accident, and I went to another invite only. and searched for the vehicle again and was able to find that vehicle on the map as a blip again and deliver it and then finish my list. But the Sparrow, since it's a service vehicle, the Sparrow could spawn in anywhere next to you. It on a mountaintop or whatever, on a dirt road, unlike your other vehicles where you could be on a dirt road and it says, hey, not a suitable road near you. The Oppressor's slow, but it could spawn in next to you. The Deluxo can spawn in close to you as long as it's on a road. The Hydra, again, has dedicated spawn locations. So just keep that in mind, all right? The next one is, do not use ground spawn vehicles. Yes, you can pick up one that you see that's on the list and take it. However, it will mess up your progress. You could also have one in your inventory or buy one and deliver it to finish it. If you absolutely positively need to and you have the money to burn and you're just doing this for the challenge, you can deliver one of your personal vehicles that's on it or a ground spawn vehicle if you find it. The issue with that is there is a dedicated spawn list or order, which I will show. When you do that, that other vehicle, say you deliver a Buffalo S off the ground, like found it on the street, delivered it because it was on the list. When it comes time for that Buffalo S to spawn in, it will spawn in, but it will not show a blip because it will show that the mission is already completed or that vehicle has already been delivered. So it will spawn in that vehicle. You will have to manually search all 50 locations for whatever group 1 or group 2. There's 100 spawn locations total, 50 for each, 50 for group 1, 50 for group 2. You will have to manually search all 50 locations for whatever group that vehicle falls under. And I'll explain that in a little bit in the future when I get to this. You will have to visually check each one of those to look for it. Then you will have to sit in it for 60 seconds for the next vehicle on the list to spawn in. When you take a vehicle, 60 seconds after you're sitting in that vehicle, the next one will spawn in. So it will create a lot of trouble and headache for you if you end up taking a ground vehicle and delivering it. Just don't do it. Look for the vehicles on the list. They're not that hard. It might take some time. We're going to start a timer when we actually start and do it. I'm trying to get through these tips pretty quick so the video is not that long, but these are important things you need to know before you start, which is why I'm saying it now. All right, so speaking of blips in the map, okay? The blips for the exotic vehicles are constant. They are persistent, which means they do not go away. Unlike you see a sleeping guard on the street and it shows up as a blue dot. Once you leave that area, that dot goes away. The armored truck, once you leave that area, the armored truck goes away. It does not do that for the exotic vehicles. They will stay on the map until you take that vehicle and deliver it. The next one will not spawn in until you take that one vehicle that's on the map and deliver it. So, having that in mind, you could check the map. You could go into the main map like this and hover over a blue dot and it will say, hey, this is a daily exotic, or this is a sleeping guard, or this is a drug vehicle, or this is an armored truck, or this is a robbery, or this is a crime scene. So you do not have to waste your time landing and trying to find it. Just keep that in mind. You do not need to do that. Okay, the trigger is further for the exotic vehicles than it is for other random events. It's usually about 4,000 feet, so you are able to see them a little bit sooner. And again, they're persistent. They're not going to go away. You could find the blip could show up at the marina in Los Santos, and you could go all the way to Paleto Bay, and it will still show on your little mini map in the bottom left-hand corner as a blue dot all the way across the world. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Next thing you're going to be doing is go in to your preferences, just like this. All right, we're gonna remove this real quick. Go into your preferences. You want to go to map blip options and turn off everything else. Make sure all these are hidden. Okay, I'm gonna hide everything. Activities, hide. Odd jobs, hide. Events, you can hide. Rival gameplay. If you are in a public lobby because you just want the challenge, keep in mind other players can destroy your car. They could have taken the car if it's on their list. It's going to make it a lot harder for it to spawn in for you, and it may not spawn in at all. Just do it in invite only. But you want to make sure all these are hidden except auto shop business, because this is an auto shop business. It will show on your map if they are in one of the exotic vehicles trying to deliver it, and you can try to go steal it from them. Okay, so make sure that that is showing. Everything else is hidden. Properties, hide everything. Stores, hide everything. You don't need to know where ammunition's at. You don't need to know where Binko clothing and stuff is. It cleans up the map. So when you look at the map, all that's going to show is probably your properties. I could try hiding these, but to me, it doesn't really matter. You'll see the blue dot. All right. Now, the next thing is start fresh. If you're having an issue, a vehicle's not spawning in and you've flown across the map 15 times like I have before and it's not showing in, again, you might have to manually check all 50 spawn locations for the group that that vehicle is under. If you still can't find it, or you just don't want to waste the time, wait for the next Rockstar day to start for you and start fresh. In an invite-only lobby, just start and go. Okay, it will make it so much easier for you. It will release so much headache. It's only a day. It's not the end of the world. Okay, again, there is a specific spawn order, which we're going to talk about in 1 second. Next thing is websites and information. Okay, GTAmap.eu is an awesome resource. Yes, there are ads on it. They get annoying. However, it shows the list that is updated daily with the actual spawn order the vehicles will spawn in. Okay, if you come up here and look on your list, you will notice that there's nothing checked off because I haven't delivered anything. However, if we go look at the daily list right now, which is going to be this list right here, the very first vehicle that's on the list happens to be the first one that we will find today. Going to be the S80RR. However, the second one on the blackboard is the Kanjo, but we will find the Monroe second. That shows third on the list. And then it's going to be the Yosemite, which is fourth on the list, but it's actually the third vehicle. The Mascaro showing as number 9. However, that's number 4 on our list. This is the actual spawn order for today's list. I spent a lot of time, probably about an hour and a half, setting up this video for you, so I hope you might get something from it. Again, you could find that information on a website like this. Okay, this is gtaweb.eu. Let me go to it real quick. Let me go to interact. Okay, so if you notice, these are all the 100 spawn locations across the world. Okay, there's 2 different colors represented. There's group 1s and group 2s. When you click on one, it will show you the list for today's order. These are group 2s, these are group 1s. So as I was saying, if you're having an issue finding something that's not spawning in, maybe it's this Sultan Classic and it hasn't spawned in for you. You check the map, there's no blip coming for you. It's spawned in. It's just not showing on the blip. So it's a group 1 vehicle, which are the darker colored ones. So you need to check all these different spawn locations for the darker colored ones. You could ignore these up here. You could ignore the winery because it's not going to be there. It's going to be at the gas station, or it's going to be over by the ammunition. It's going to be at Hookies. It's not going to be at the tram, but it can be in Polito. It's not going to be at the Ron station. Do you get what I'm saying? Okay, it's only going to be in the group 2 vehicles that are spawning in, or group 1 vehicles. No, group 1 vehicles that are spawning in, not the group 2. So don't look for the light colored, look for that. There's another website like GTA Lens. It shows the same thing for the exotics. Their list is just not the actual spawn order. So just keep that in mind. Okay. Also, you can use a map for your route. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be starting at the docks and flying a route. I'm going to use a little bit different one than this, but I just pulled this off Google. image search just to show you what I mean by get a map that will show you a route. All right. Reason we're going to be starting at the docks, you don't have to start here. You also do not have to come look at the list. You do not need to request the list. It will start, the event will start regardless of what you do. There is no way to activate it. All right. So what I mean by that is just you playing the game, driving around the streets. If it's near you, it will spawn in, or it will appear as a blip on your radar. There is no starting it. But we're going to start at the docks because when you deliver a vehicle, you deliver it to the docks. So you start again at the docks. You need to fly the same route each and every time you deliver a vehicle. All right. That's the main thing. Fly it each and every time you deliver a vehicle, because another vehicle can spawn in at the industrial area that's right next to the docks, whereas the last vehicle you spawned or found in Paleto Bay, the next vehicle could have spawned in on the docks or near the docks. And if you go back to Paleto and pick up where you left off, that's not how it works. It spawns in any of the other locations again is 60 seconds after you take the vehicle. So you don't want to just start messing around and doing it. Just stay a consistent route over and over and over again. So we're going to head over to the docks right now, and we will pick it up when I start. All right, we are over at the docks. The reason I said we're going to start here is because we're going to take a little route that's going to go by the oil fields and up and around. In between this large section of cranes right here is usually, well, it's always where this plane spawns in at, which will probably also be the same for the Hydra or possibly a helicopter. Usually my Sparrow spawns in right here between these stacks of containers on the middle street right here. So we're going to start there, and we're going to fly this route. I'm going to do this in real time. No edits, no cuts, no fast forwarding. We're going to do this in real time and see how long we can take it. It might be a long video. You can fast forward, but we're going to complete it. I did this last night, and it took me 1 hour and 25 minutes to do it. I filmed a video for it last night, which I will probably post as well, but this one I actually made a list of tips and tricks and everything like that to help you instead of just explaining it. So again, read the tips real quick. If you don't have it, don't have a plane like this, or don't have something fast right now, this is on sale. It happens to be on sale. Unfortunately, I bought it for $8.5 million one day before it went on sale for like $4.2 million. I was kind of perturbed. I didn't see it on the list, unfortunately. But we're going to be taking this off. We're going to put our list back on. So again, that S80RR is going to be the first on our list today that we will find when it comes on. I'm going to pop up my timer. We're going to go over here real quick to the timer. It's here. I got to interact with it, and we are going to start. There we go. All right. And you can use any method of transportation that you want to take. I just find that this jet is one of the fastest in the game. It has VTOL capabilities, and it's easy to maneuver. I haven't tried the Hydra yet. I haven't bought the Hydra. I want to buy it. That's on my list. But I usually fly over the oil fields. We're going to come down here real quick. We're going to go towards Mirror Park. Fly down Mirror Park. Sometimes if you're going too fast, the dot might appear behind you when it spawns in, so keep that in mind, but it should not be an issue. Like I said, it is persistent. Back to casino parking lot, and then I come up towards Martin's up here. Again, it's a little bit modified map than what this is showing. Modified route, I should say. We're going to go straight over the goal. Parking lot here, because we don't know, well, I do know which group this vehicle is on, but it's easier just to do your, I kind of check the parking lot right here, because someone's spawning right here on the street. And then I go back towards Mirror Park a little bit. We want to fly on this side of the river. Basically right down Poplar Avenue. And keep your altitude pretty much kind of where I'm at, just above the buildings. At anything below the maze bank tower. The main maze bank tower, keep it around there. This is the last little industrial area that I was talking about. We're gonna go on this side of the river. We're gonna fly up this side, kind of head towards Grove Street just a little bit. We're just gonna fly straight up. And I will tell you, I will show you once I get a blue dot that pops up how you can verify what it is. I've kind of done it at least maybe 70 times to where I know just by looking at it if it's going to be one or not, because it's in a spot location. Now remember, we did kind of check the buildings over here, but I just go straight up again. Kind of check the street because there's one that spawns in front of the theater. Alright, so we just had a blue dot. This is what I meant by it's persistent. That dot just went away. So that is not one of the dots we are going to be looking for. Because it would not have gone away. I'm going to see if it's going to spawn back in on me. And I will try stopping if I can. Okay, it didn't come in. But you don't have to waste your time on that. Because that's not a persistent dot. That dot went away. The daily exotics do not go away. We're going to fly back down here. We're going to check downtown. Now I'm going to go towards the Maze Bank Arena. Check this little parking lot right here. I've had 2 vehicles spawning back to back in that parking lot, which is again why you want to keep a consistent route. Go right around, follow the loop of the road. Check this parking garage, because there's 2 different groups, and one group will spawn on the one parking garage, and one group will spawn on the other. We're going to go towards the marina a little bit. Okay, so right now, I'm going to try to make it to where this dot doesn't go away. You know, just by the location, it's not going to be a vehicle, but if you have doubts, you can look over it, so it's a skeleton. This is how you get your metal detector in the treasure map or Coyote Rico if you have not got the metal detector yet. So when you go to Chiropractor, there's 2 buried stashes or treasure chests on the, actually they're buried, treasure chests on the island when you're there. So look for skeletons. You can pick up the metal detector in the treasure map and do that. You don't need it. Once you find the metal detector, then you just go get GTA Lens. The website GTA Lens has those locations on it, so you can know exactly where they're at when you go do a prep for the heist. You have to do it during the prep. That does not show up on the actual heist finale. It has to be done during a prep. We're going to come just kind of right back up here. Rockford Mall right here has when it comes in. We come back up towards where we just were. But I like double checking the houses. Nothing spawns in up at the observatory. Kind of off my route a little bit. But you get the gist. You kind of want to make sure you overlap a little bit. Just so you don't miss anything. There's a crane right there. Fly down this road. Go towards the canals. Go out towards the beach. The pier parking has one that spawns in too. Maybe we can get lucky and find it there. But no, it's not going to be there. Check this side of the canals. We should have been close enough to where if there was one there, it would have popped in. And it didn't. We're going to fly this way a little bit. Again, I am on my route. So right here, blue dot popped in. We're pretty far away. See how it says exotic exports vehicle? It will show that when it's one, so I know that one right here is one, in fact. So we're going to land down here and take it. Remember, every time that you land and get out to get in your car, you want to return your vehicle to storage so you can spawn it back in again. as soon as you get over to the docks. Now, one more tip I did not put is sit in the vehicle for about 60 seconds, especially when you're in a populated area like this, before you drive off. So, you know what? We're going to return our vehicle, but we're going to get in this car. This is the S80RR. There we go. See, that was the first one on the list for today. So now we're going to manage vehicles. We're going to return our personal vehicle to storage. What you want to do is you want to sit in here for about 60 seconds. Because as you are driving back to the docks, if you pass one, you will be able to see the blip on it. So you know exactly where to come back to. It just increases your chances of not having to fly around. It will add, what, 9 minutes on? Because the last vehicle doesn't count, so you don't need to sit for 60 seconds in the last vehicle. But the first one, yes. And I wasn't paying attention to how long we did it, so we're just going to give it maybe 10 more seconds. Take a drink of my Monster. Right now it is 2:34 for me. All right, now we're gonna go. So on our drive over to the docks, there's a couple places that they could spawn in at. Again, if I show the map, there is, what, about 15 places that something could spawn in between here and there. So it just increases our chances of finding another vehicle quickly when we already have to head to the docks anyway. We already have to be on this route heading there. I don't think I'm taking the fastest route there real quick, but you know what? Also, it does not matter how much damage you get on the vehicles. Just don't destroy it. Yeah, I'm not taking the fastest route, but it might work out in our favor because we might have one that pops up. Again, you don't have to be in air to see it. You don't have to visually see it. It just, you have to be within the trigger distance of it. And I did forget to tell one thing. So what you do want to do is you do want to go to your settings. You do want to go to display and expand your radar. I did the blips, but I completely forgot about the expanding, even though it was on the tips. All right. So we're just going to head this way just for the fun of it. Maybe try to get one that spawns in. Again, I'm trying to do this in a quick manner, but I also want to show you some tips and tricks. Just drive there. We're passing an area of Grove Street, so maybe one will spawn in on Grove Street. Street over, you never know. Cross your fingers. Alright, I really want to buy this car. This car is actually fun. It's really good handling. I've never driven this car before. Alright, so unfortunately nothing popped in unless over by my garage over there, one pops in now. We're not going to get one. Man, this thing sucks to the ground. Alright, so what you want to do is, the easiest way, just pop in here. Come through here. And I was going to go straight, but I want to show you where the spawn point for the jet is. Now we're going to go into here. We're going to request the Raiju, and it's going to pop in right here. That's the spawn location for the jet. And probably for if you call in a buzzer or call in something else. So this is our first vehicle, so we're going to mark this off our list right here. Oops, not that one. We're going to mark that off our list now. Alright, so that's $20,000 for that. Each vehicle you deliver gives you $20,000. At the end, that equates to $200,000. 20,000 times 10. Now, you also get a $100,000 bonus. So if you do this in about an hour and a half, an hour, depending on how long it takes you, you can make an extra 300 grand just by doing this not having to do any setups, not having to do anything involved except just flying around, having fun, working on your flight, like mechanics and stuff like that. So now we're going to start the same route all over again. We're going to go. I'm going to go stealth so I get rid of the crosshairs. And again, we're going to start over at the oil fields again. Number one did not spawn over here earlier. Doesn't mean it doesn't spawn in now. But there is another one on the map somewhere because I waited 60 seconds. It took longer than 60 seconds, so it did spawn in. Now we just have to find it. Hopefully it's not up in the county. You kind of always want to start down in the city because that's where the majority of the spawn locations are. Okay, so see how this one's moving? You can also hear that it is the smuggler's plane. The parked exotic car is not going to be moving, and it disappeared from the map. So we know right off the bat that that is not a export vehicle. Go back over here. We're going to check Antec's driveway real quick. Fly over. Go right back. We're going to do our route again. Not here. We're going to check the parking lot right here. Usually we can spawn in right there. We're going to come this way. We're going to fly on this side of the river. We kind of already know that it did not spawn in down the main garage at the very end. Which are free garages right now, by the way, free 10-car garage. I collected them all just to have them. Never use them. I have to buy a club garage that's $100. Side of the river, we did kind of come down on my grove streets, so we know nothing's going to be a grove. But there's like 15 other locations where they can spawn in. But you just want to fly the same path even if you've driven it. Okay, so right here, that's a drug vehicle. We know that that's not it, so you can check it real quick, just verify. But once we leave the area, if I wasn't quick on the VTOL and just did it, now it's already gone. We left the area. So that's just how you verify. You don't have to land and check. You don't have to waste your time doing that. And we're going to come up. We're going to go towards the theater over here. The Simplest Theater. We're going to go to the lake right here. Cul-de-sac or the circle right here. Now we're going to come back down. Just double check this area or check the other side of it. We're going to fly between the buildings. Okay, so right here, that is an export vehicle. So now we can fly back over to here. That's going to be the Monroe. Yeah, there's a light pole right there. Alright, so we're going to get out of here. I'm going to go get in the Monroe. We're just going to give it about 60 seconds, which in that time I will return my vehicle to storage. Oops. There we go. Return personal vehicle to storage. Now I could, by the time we get over there, it's ready to be requested. I'm just gonna spend a little bit more time, just waste another couple seconds. We're just gonna mark on our map. Again, from here, it's pretty much a straight shot all the way down. But you want to give it some time for that next vehicle to spawn in. I mean, we're not doing on the best of time right now, but it's still pretty quick, especially if we keep finding them in the city. Alright. Get out of here. And I'm just going to follow this route just to see if another vehicle might spawn in. area. But the further you are away from the docks, the even more important it is to sit, especially if you're in Polito. Get out of the parking spot, move, because who knows, I might spawn back into the parking spot. I didn't do it on that one, I should have. But sometimes they do spawn in back-to-back in the same parking spots. Or no, this is Supply Street, not Poplar. I don't know why I got it on Popular Street. Yep, I like that SAD better. Again, damage does not matter. You're not docked on anything for damage. You get 20,000 regardless. Yeah, this thing does not stick to the ground. Nice little car, though. Gonna move. Alright. You can also take this way. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spawn in my jet right now, so it's here when we get done. Alright, the row is done. Alright, another 20K right off the bat. And at the end of this, we should have 2,300,000. And some change. Now, the only time you really don't have to sit for 60 seconds is if you happen to get a vehicle that spawned in right at the garage right. Because there's no other vehicles between there and the docks where it's going to spawn at. Same route. Now you can reverse it and fly up to the county first, but then, like I was saying, the majority of the vehicles spawn in the city. There's like 70 different spawn points in the city. There's like 30 out in the county and on the outskirts. So it's more beneficial to check the majority of the spawn points first, knock those out. Yes, it takes a little bit of time, and then when you're unlucky like me and then get a vehicle, like 6 vehicles in a row that spawn in Toledo and Blaine County at the Humane Labs and stuff like that, it's annoying, but it is what it is. So, that's that. one thing I love about having this jet particularly is it holds its hover. When you put it in VTOL mode, it stays at the altitude you set it in. It doesn't fluctuate. You don't start rocking back and forth like you do in a helicopter. You pull back on the stick when you put it in VTOL. It doesn't start going sideways like a helicopter does. So it's a lot easier. It's not like the oppressor where it starts dipping altitude. The oppressor's a lot slower. You gotta remember the oppressor's air altitude speed, or airspeed, is only 110 miles an hour. Even when it's fully upgraded, only 110. When you're on the ground, it's about 130. Go out and fly towards base main. Go down Grove Street, or right on Grove Street, I should say. Sometimes you do overspeed it and it will appear after. But again, they're persistent. They're not going to go away. So as long as it shows up on the map, you don't chance I'm going to see it. Right over here. Hopefully it shows in the marina. I love the ones when they're in the city. That's what people are home for, is that they're in the city. Side of the building just a little bit. And one thing I kind of like doing is this little loop up here. A little Mulholland Drive would be. I usually just kind of follow that loop back around and head back towards the city. Some altitude a little bit. Leading towards the canals. I'll fly right over the canals actually. Make sure that nothing popped up on that. Not going to crash. We're going to check the gear parking lot. Towards the golf course. I'm going to check the place. Alright, so that should be one right here. Yep, exotic exports. This place right here has a spawn point too, and then the gas station. So this one is the first one I take from the gas station. I believe this is a Group 1 vehicle. I'll take the LTD right here. Which I have yet to drive as well. Ooh, this looks like a nice truck. Ooh. Ooh. Alright, alright, alright. Nice little truck. I have yet to see one of those or been in one of those. Okay, now we're going to return our vehicle to storage. We're just going to give it a little bit because we got a long way to drive. So I'm hoping when I come down this road and head over here, because we're going to be coming down, we're going to be making a point, like maybe right here is where I'm going to go, because then that should, if something's at Rockford Hills, it should spawn in. Maybe something, you know what, we're going to go here, and then from here we're going to go over towards Rockford and then take this all the way in. And I'm hoping one of these spawn points will show up. Actually, we're going to go here, and then we're going to hang a left and go towards the mall. So, oh wow, this is a drift truck. Yes, it is. Woo-wee. Alrighty then. Alright, so I think that's been about a minute. We're just gonna follow this route. Mainly because there's houses up here that have a spawn point as well. So again, we're trying to limit our flying time and searching time if we could get one that will appear on a map as we're driving to the docks. Yes, this is definitely a drift truck. Holy, I want this truck, but I don't drift. Yeah, I'm hoping when I get up to these houses that one will spawn in, or one will appear. We're just gonna go straight down here. We're gonna kind of go towards the golf course, and maybe we're close enough to where if there's one there, it'll spawn in. Or show up, I should say. Again, I should have got out of the parking stall or the spawn point for this vehicle, and I completely forgot. I keep forgetting that. I say it, so do as I say, not as I do. Alright, I'm gonna go down here. Go towards the mall. Is this car really setting off sound alarm for car alarms? Alright, so nothing showed up at the mall. This is Popular Street. I always thought it said Poplar, but I never actually paid attention to it as a Popular Street. There's a spawn point down here. Spawn in our plane. And we're going to mark this one off the list. Okay, 3 down. 30 minutes for 3. Right on the track for maybe about an hour and 15, an hour and 20 minutes. All right, so see how one just popped in right now? There's a blue dot. So we did pass one, and it didn't show when we passed it, but it did pop in right now. It's persistent, so if I take away the GPS, you can see it's on the map right now. Let me hide this real quick. You can see it's on the map, even though the mini-map, we're nowhere near where this is on the mini-map world, but it's still showing that it's right there. So by sitting in the car for 60 seconds and waiting and driving that route, we found another vehicle. So now we don't have to do our plan. We don't have to fly our route. We just go straight and pick up that car. So that's exactly what you want to do. Why I say sit there for 60 seconds and then start driving. So now we're gonna go pick up our, what is that, Mascacaro? I'm just gonna go straight there. We don't have to search, we don't have to do anything, we can just go right and pick it up. Especially, it's beneficial anywhere. But if you're in somewhere like Polito, you especially want to wait before you leave Polito, just in case something spawns in. Like, leave the area, like, go out on the highway for just a little bit, get out of where the vehicle spawned in at, and then wait the 60 seconds, because before you leave, you might show that it's on that area again. And then you know that you just need to go straight back to Polito instead of searching everywhere in the world before you get there. Or Humane Labs. There's only one spawn point at Humane Labs. So leave Humane Labs, sit outside the gate, and just wait for 60 seconds. And then go do... No, I'm not going to do that yet. I'm going to get in here. So here we go. We're going to sit here for a minute. I'm going to get out of the spawn point. Park in this driveway real quick. Let's see, it is 23 seconds right now, so we're gonna wait till it's 34:23. We're gonna return our vehicle to storage. We're gonna clear traffic out real quick. And we're just gonna wait to leave. It's a nice car. We're gonna plan our route again. So let's head this way this time. Actually, let's go this way. And then we're going to get on this route and go straight the way that we went before. Same thing. Or you know what? We might drive through Rockford Hills. And then we're going to go up and then down. All right. So 60 seconds is about up right now. We're gonna give it just a second, maybe look away and look back, maybe. Okay. So the vehicles, like, that might be one right there, I don't know. But they may not spawn in, but the blip will be there. Once we deliver it and come back, then it'll show like, oh, the next vehicle's available. It'll do it. Okay, so we're gonna go on this side of the golf course. I mean, this is only gonna add like another 30 seconds because these are fast cars. So just to see if it'll pop that we located it when we deliver this one. You never know, because I've been driving them before and they pop up. That was kind of weird that it showed up after the fact. But I am not eating at all. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go up here, we're gonna drive through the mall. There's one in the bottom parking of the mall. Spawn point. Let's see if when we deliver this, if one will pop up like it did last time. Because if that saves us like 2 or 3 minutes, 5 minutes of flying. So it may take an extra, maybe add on 9 minutes if you still have to fly everywhere, but if it's like it did last time, we don't have to waste any time. So the time that we saved sitting and waiting for that other car to spawn in, because if I would have just got in and drove, it was right down the street from my mansion. It wouldn't have, okay, so before we do this, we're gonna go, that way while we're in the cutscene here, the plane could spawn in. Alright, so we're gonna mark number 4 off the list. Let's see, is minimap gonna show anything? Come on, minimap. Alright, it does not look like it. Now we're gonna have to go grind.
This one or not? Yes, it is. Exotic exports. So see how far away we were? We were like, I guess we weren't that far. But this is going to be an exotic export right here. Oops. Not what we're going to do. Alright. We'll This is our next vehicle. I'll land real quick. Get out. Gonna go get in this car. This is the Sabre Custom Turbo Custom. All right, so now we're gonna back out of this spot just so possibly the chances of another one spawning in is more higher in that same spot. We're gonna manage our vehicles, return personal vehicle storage. Okay, we're gonna set our route. Let's see which way we want to go. The quickest and easiest would be coming down here and turning and going all the way down. So that might be it, or we could just cut through here and hopefully something at Maze Bank will pop or Grove Street will pop. And then we're going to go. So that's how we're just going to go. Give it, see, it's 47 now. A little bit longer. Go to 27. All right, so now we're gonna go. That should have been a minute. Maybe something at Grove Street will show up. Nothing popped on the minimap now, but you never know. Like it did last time, we got all the way to the docks, delivered a vehicle, and then it showed up. It usually shows up as you see the vehicle. As long as it spawns in, you could be passing it in an exotic vehicle, taking it to the docks, and it will pop up on your minimap. It was odd that it showed up after the fact, but I ain't complaining. We still knew where to go. Through here. Dope. Again, damage does not matter. It looks like this car will take a beating anyway. Alright, braking sucks. Alright, so we're gonna go through this cutscene. We got 5 down and we're 44 minutes into it. Not too bad. We're halfway there, so now we're gonna manage vehicles. We're gonna request this. We still got to wait for it to spawn in, so we got to start running it. Yep, see, the other one did spawn in. Let me hide this real quick. So, it does show on our mini-map now, so now we know exactly where to go. Is it Grove Street? It is Grove Street, so it popped up on Grove Street right when we were passing it. So, we lucked out on that. Surprised it didn't show up when we were there, but this is why I'm saying it's beneficial to do that. Now we know exactly where to go. So let my gear down because it's creates some drag, but it's still fast. Killed him. Yeah, he did. He did. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to get out of here with this car. And it is 48 right now.
We're gonna return our personal vehicle to storage. Gonna sit for another minute. And hopefully another vehicle spawns in over here. And what I think I'm gonna do is I think I'm going to... We're close enough to Maze Bank that the parking lot right here should spawn in if we have one here, but I think I'm gonna go this route right here. And then cut over and go down to the docks. Just to see if there's any spawn points right here. 48, we're almost there. I think there's one more spawn point on this street. Apparently they want to take a selfie of me. Like,
you maniac!
All right.
No way.
Exactly 1 minute. And gotta love it. Gotta love Grove Street. All right. We're gonna start heading over to our the docks. Popular street again. And with any luck, any available job. They're already assigned jobs, so I can do that. Oh, okay. That's what it means. Yeah, I know my furnace stuff is maxed out. I'm aware. Thank you, Tony. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of miss English Dave now that I've done the Cayo Perico stuff. I don't get any more calls from Dave. I got his weasel though. All right, so we're gonna deliver this one, and bam, that one is done. Now the Camacho is going to be next. Let's go ahead and spawn in our... Nope, hold on. Oh, see, we still... That's why you want to return it right away. We still gotta wait, so we can get over here. Kind of hoping the next blip will show up. Nope, okay. We're gonna do manage vehicles. And there we go. All right, not too bad at all. We have, what, 4 more left, and we're only at 50 minutes. So, I mean, this is a very quick way to do stuff if you just want to make some money. I mean, you're not making $1 million in an hour, like on some of the heists, but without having to worry about buying body armor, ammo, dying, using mission elite stuff, having to worry about all the setup stuff, having to worry about failing a mission, all that. Like, it's a quick, easy grind. If you deliver 1,000 vehicles, you do get a text from Brucey, and I think you get a special vehicle. I can't remember what the thing is for delivering 1,000, but I know you get a text from Brucey because that is the quote-unquote custom. Watch out for these missed opportunity on that. That would have been awesome. But there's like 4 or 5 spawn points over by the Union Depository and the FIB building and which is and stuff. So we just have to keep an eye on that. Like here. Maybe I'll get one over here at the parking garage. Not this parking garage. I don't know what will be in the county. So we can do a full route. Which I don't really need to show you the route. You can Google that and do it. We already checked that, but I just kind of want to check this area because I have a lot ready to run it off of. Now we're going to go towards the U road over here. We'll go by the golf course, maybe something park at the golf course. Doesn't look like it. We go down towards Vespucci Canals. And there's a building right there. All right. Again, you don't have to fly it that low, but while we're waiting on that, this is why it's important if you have to have a, like, important to have a Sparrow or something, because the Sparrow will spawn right next to you anywhere you're at. So it's a little bit slower, but we're going to do this in a Sparrow right now while I wait to be able to claim that vehicle again. But I cannot use that vehicle right now for the simple fact that it is a I'm not near a spawn point for it. I'll have to be at the beach or something to get a spawn point. So we're just going to fly this real quick. Yes, it's slower, but this is why I was like, you want to have a Sparrow or something to where if something happens, like you're not paying attention because you're looking at the mini-map and you crash it, you could have a vehicle you could spawn in anywhere on the map right away. All right, so right here, that is an exotic exports vehicle. See how the blue map, the map is also showing the armored truck right here, or the security van. Not what we want. we want the exotic exports. So, fortunately, I was not in this helicopter very long. Just land this. Now remember, there's cooling off periods before you can request these, so as soon as you do this, you want to return it and get it out of the way. We're going to get in this thing. And we are going to move this out of the area, the street. It is 46 right now, so we're going to give it about another 46. I think we're going to go probably just whatever route it tells us to take. Just to cover, maybe Grove Street will spawn in again. You never know. And if we look at our... Okay, I could already request it. I'm just not in an area where it will spawn in. This is what I mean by it has dedicated spawn points. If I was to request it right now, it would not spawn in. I would have to hoof it on foot or steal a car, drive to it, or do something to get to it. About another 20 seconds. All right, it is 50 seconds right now, so we're going to go. And we're just going to drive the route that it wants us. Just in hopes another one will spawn in. Or another one will appear. It already spawned in. We've been in the vehicle longer than 60 seconds. It has spawned in on the map. Just locating it. There's spawn points down here. There's several down here, actually. So we're passing some right now. Hopefully it will appear on the mini-map when we drop this vehicle off. Why it's waiting till it drops off is beyond me. But hey, let the game do its thing. It'll still show up if you triggered it, as we've seen before. Passing Grove Street again. Maybe the other one will spawn in over here. Ah, that thing looks nice. I love the fact that they have like LED light bars on the cars now. I don't think that was a thing like when this game dropped. My truck is as old as this game. My truck is a 2013. Alright, right back on the road. Okay. Go ahead and spawn in that. There's another. Macho is done. We got 3 more to do. All right, and the other one did show up on the mini-map. So if you look, it showed up right where we were at. So now we just got to get there. So again, waiting 60 seconds has been beneficial, what, 3 different times now? Still wondering why it doesn't show up when we're driving. But it did show up. That's all that matters. We know exactly where it's at. We don't have to search. Straight to it. name of the building. The A building. And for the life of me, right now. What is it? Where is it? Can't see it right now. This is going to be the Blackfin. And it is right in this part. Archer's Majestic. Park a military jet next to a military vehicle. We're gonna... Actually, I'll wait. I will wait. Ooh, this is a nice one too. Like a Stingray. Alright, so we're going to manage vehicles, return a personal vehicle to storage. We're gonna plan our route real quick. See which way. I think we're just gonna do the same thing. I mean, if anything, I could take this way up here, or I could go up one street and keep coming up. But I think I'm going to go this way because there's a lot of spawn points over here. So it's 53. I probably picked up the car at, what, 40 seconds? We're just going to give it a second. You know what? While I'm doing... And my phone is glitching out again. For some reason, oh, it's glitching out because I'm in a, is it the extended map that's making it do it? Anyway, it is... What? Is it media and entertainment? Travel and transport? I'm looking for the name of that insurance. Nope, I don't know. Usually it shows up, but it doesn't. Alright, so we're gonna go now. I really need to, I don't want to spend any money. I don't want to do anything for my businesses right now while I'm doing this. Ooh, it's a nice throwy draw. This car sounds amazing. We're just going to kind of go over here because there are spawn points in this area. Add this car to the list of cars I want to buy. When I have money and I can stop spending money on stuff that I need or want, like really want. There's still like businesses I want to get, like a salvage yard. I want to try to get those limited edition vehicles that have like the North Yankton plates, the Las Venturas plates on them. The only way to do that is to get it from the salvage yard. But I'm not a modder or a cheater. I can't get it any other way. And sadly, I don't think it's time enough for my vehicle to be allowed to be spawned in right now. Alright, this one is done. We have 2 more to go. The Phoenix and the King. That's it. Alright, let's see if anything pops on the map. Let's get our vehicle in. Usually right around here is when the other vehicle pops in. Okay, so we do not have anything showing on the map right now. Now we got to search. The very end of this, I think I am just going to fly the route. And maybe I'll put a timer for the route on, just to show how long it kind of takes the route if you're not finding anything. But if you fly this route and you haven't found a vehicle and it's not coming up, there's something wrong, which means you might have to go and check. Or you will have to go and check all 50 spawn locations for that set of vehicles and manually and physically check to see if it's one that's parked there. That's going to be time consuming, especially if it's like one that's in a parking garage, because then you need to get out of the parking garage, you need to go under the buildings and stuff like that, because the spawn point's like one of the wall. It's inside the parking garage, so you need to physically get out and go check that. You can't fly by it. And if you don't know the type of vehicle you're looking for, like what it looks like, it's going to make it harder. I don't know what all the vehicles look like just by the names of them. There's a couple that I do, but there's 500 vehicles in this game. I don't know them. This spot is going to be the skeleton again, where the coyote Rico. Still don't know the name of the freaking thing. Okay, so right here, this should be a sleeping guard. Nope, that's a drunk vehicle. So you can ignore that. There's a sleeping guard that usually spawns in like right now, which should like walk on that too. finding it on the street and doing it that way. If you know where they spawn at, like what areas they spawn at. Not all of these vehicles can you find on the street. Okay, so this is a route that I usually like taking forward. I almost hit it perfect. So you come in, you can hit the road, and I just move it back around, and then fly it right back out. And then this will set me up on the golf course. This is the Phoenix. All right, so we're gonna move out of here. We're gonna set up this way because I'm gonna drive into the docks down Route 68 and hope that something spawns on Route 68. So we're gonna return our vehicle to storage. And then, as I was saying, I'm going to drive all the way down Route 68, checking the areas along Route 68, and then I'm going to get on the freeway and come all the way down to the docks from there. Just to knock out Route 68 area, hopefully. Because there's... not what I wanted to do. There's like a spawn location right here. There's a spawn location here. There's a spawn location up at the Rebel Tower. There's a spawn location at Red Lights. There's a spawn location at the Yellow Jack. And there's a spawn location at the power plant. Spawn location here. And spawn location at Noose. So I'm kind of hoping that we could get one of those to pop up to know exactly where it's at, so we don't have to drive all the way through the city. Or fly all the way through the city, I should say. Alright. So I think that's about enough time. We are going to go. And we're going to be passing the ammunition over here, which will show it, which will be a blip as well. I think we're going to be too far away for the winery. The winery has a spawn location. But the fastest route might have been back through the city and then over, but this is kind of a straight shot, all high speed without having to do a lot of turns, and we're checking, which I think they're actually in the corner. I think there was something in the ammunition back there, and then there was a vehicle parked in the parking lot, so that's probably where the blip's going to show up now. Apparently there's a smuggler's cache up there, because there's a flare going off. Or smuggler's trail, I should say. Probably gonna have to alert. The trail leading to the smuggler's trail has disappeared. Alright, since this is the last vehicle that we have to, like, there's one more vehicle, it was kind of beneficial just to wait and check Route 68 to where if we find it, we could just skip the entire city and just come straight to it. Since we're already on Route 68. There's also a spawn point at the prison. So I'm going to check Yellowjack. I'm just going to be in the area of Yellowjack, I should say, to see if he'll spawn in. And then what I'm going to do is go down towards the prison. I'm not exactly sure what a camper looks like. But we're just going to give this just a look-see. And it's in the parking lot or the car park, depending on what part of the country you're in. And I took the wrong way. Took the wrong freeway. So we want to take this freeway. And there's a guardrail right there. Of course there's a guardrail. And the guardrail goes forever. We need to go this way because there's no guardrail right over here. Maybe it'll pop at the gas station that's in the middle of the truck stop. I think we're too far away from the power plant that nothing's going to show. And you shouldn't have to drive through this gas station, but I always do just to make sure if there's something there that it does pop up. But again, yesterday was exactly an hour and 25 minutes. Today is probably going to be an hour and 30. With hoping that there was something at maybe the ammunition on Route 68. Ooh, this vehicle is touchy. Coming through. Ooh, people. Go this route. Normally I get off and take the right here, and then I realize that I don't have to do that. The freeway ends like right here. And then I can just hang a right at the light instead of having to get off on the exit. And then maybe this will also pop it over at the by the garage over there. All right. Anybody want to take bets on if something's going to pop up or not? This is the first vehicle that we found in the county area. All the others have been in the city, so we found 8 vehicles in the city. Which is why I was saying that it's more beneficial to check the city first, because that's where the majority of the spawn points are. And we found every one of them in the city except this one. Okay, let's see what's going to happen. Okay, we have this one done. The Phoenix is done. Now we just got to do the Kanjo. Okay. It'll be a persistent dot if it is going to show up. Which I am not seeing it. So we're going to request our thing. We're going to run towards it. I had to itch my nose real quick. All right, so now we're just going to start our search again. Unfortunately, nothing popped up. But we did eliminate Route 68, the prison, not necessarily Rebel Radio up on the hill and Red Lights track. So we're still going to have to do a fly through of that area. Just in case. But it only takes about 30 seconds to fly over that area, so we're still going to go back to the wrong station and check the winery, because we didn't check the winery. If we have to go that far. We may not even have to go that far. Maybe I check the oil field. It's the very first spot that I checked, and it's right here. Exports, so we found it. All of it except one vehicle has been in the city. That is amazing. So we are pretty much done with our list. I'm not going to stop the timer until, but like I said, it's going to be right around 1.5 hours. I was like, yesterday I finished at 125. Today is probably going to be 130. That is what it is. So I can return this vehicle to storage. We're not going to need this, and we do not need to sit in this car. We just need to figure out, I'm kind of backwards right now. Where is the street that I need? All right, we just need to go up. Not really over Mission Row that much. I guess I could have said, no, I can't take that way, huh? So this one doesn't matter. This is our last vehicle. There is no vehicles after this that are going to spawn in, so you do not have to sit for 60 seconds. It's not beneficial. We just have to deliver this to the docks and we're done. And you will see that I'm going to get 120,000 for this. I will get the 20,000 for delivering it and a $100,000 bonus for doing all 10. Now there have been people that have done this in under an hour. There have been people that it takes 3 hours to do it. It just all depends on where your vehicles are spawning at. If you start finding vehicles in the county, do not just start your route in the county, because it will probably make it to where, oh, your next vehicle like is going to be in the city, and then you're thinking that it's the county. Just start your route at the docks. Start what I was flying, and I'm going to do one route after this of just flying the route. So now we are done. We could take this off the list. I'm going to hide this, and then we'll see. I could end my timer. And 1 hour and 27 minutes for the timer. And we got our $120,000 extra. So minus all my expenses for today, I would have had like 1.3 million, but I've had my expenses and everything else. So that is it. 120 or 120, about 300 grand and 1 hour and 27 minutes of work. Not too bad. I am going to request this. Now I'm just going to fly the route just so you could see the route. We're not going to be looking for a car because there are going to be no cars that spawn in. We're just going to fly the route so you could see the entire route in its entirety. If I ever do this video again, I will probably do chapters. There's like a chapter marker on my stream deck, so then I can, I don't know, flag it to where when I upload the video, when I know where the chapters are. Because maybe in the abstract knowledge of how they had chapters. Alright, so come through, you check the oil filters. You're going to be flying towards Mirror Park, which we've already done. And I thought I was going to do a timer for this, but I forgot that I set a timer just for this. But you can time it. You can see I'll actually start the stopwatch right now. Okay. I do bet that the stopwatch button, so I'm just going to see I'll add like 2 minutes to it just to do it. Over, check the theater. Since it's daytime, it should work out a little bit better for everybody. You can actually see what's going on. I also did forget to mention, if you are still watching, you can call Santa, and you can request the list from Santa.
Hey, what's up?
It's already done, but you actually can request it, and it's updated as you go. With the vehicles removed that have been delivered. Completely forgot to mention that. That's going to be a sleeping car. Yep. I know that location very well. Not to mention there's a vehicle off the radar. Fly up towards the buildings. You want to make sure you get these businesses and then the houses. Obviously the mansion's not going to have anything. Check the theater. And fly over Lake Los Angeles. Whatever they call this lake. Another payphone hit. Yeah, this building. I don't know what this building is called. Anyway, you're gonna fly lower than I did, but you've seen me do that one already. I was trying to hit the building and I didn't crash. Don't want to read it on like block 30. Fly around the corner of the tower in this little parking lot, which right here has a spot. That's why you always arena has like 3 spawn points. Make sure you check that. fly straight across into Sandy Shores. From here, this is where you're gonna cross over your cell points. So you're gonna check here. You're gonna go towards the Yellow Jack. You're gonna fly over the Yellow Jack, and then be very careful about this next spot. Do not get them on the level by flying over the prison. You're just gonna check the parking lot, car parking lot of the prison, see if anything spawns in there, and then you're gonna go down Route 68. You're gonna check the racetrack. If anything spawns in there, and then kind of go back towards Route 68, check the radio tower, check the rest of the businesses. Now, if you did it right, you should have been within distance of spawning anything. Now you're going to cut back, go towards Slab City, and just basically follow this all the way back into Sandy Shores. You're going to be checking all these areas. Straight towards the mill that's on Route 14 out there. Alright, you're going to come into here. I'm not sure if there's any spawn points right here. I do believe there is one, depending on what room you have. But there is one in the parking lot of the down here. And then from here, you're going to go straight into Humane Labs. And you're going to check the parking lot of Humane Labs. And then you can just fly up the coast. Right to the power plant. Say there's a spawn point down here, you might have to fly. Say there's like one in like over here somewhere. Like you might have to fly and physically check the parking lot and make sure. And see if the vehicle is in there that matches what you need. If it's not, you need to go to the next one. Maybe that's like a block over. And you gotta be like, okay, it's not in this parking lot either. Okay, it's not in this house where it says it should be. Okay, it's not over here in this parking lot where it says it should be, and et cetera, et cetera. You might have to look at each one of them over and over and over again to find the vehicle. Then when you find it, you need to get out, sit in it for 60 seconds. You do not have to deliver it. It will not let you deliver it since it's already been delivered. But sit in it for 60 seconds. Move it. I would move it out of the spot. But do it for 60 seconds. Make sure you're in the car for 60 seconds. And then start your search again. I would go back to your starting point. So say you just found the vehicle there. Then I would come all the way back to the docks where the starting point's at and start your route again. And then fly that whole thing again. And you should have a dot that appears at that point in time. You should. That's why it's beneficial to know the order of the list that you need to find for that particular day in the actual spawn order, so you know what exact vehicle you are looking for that should be spawned in. So say that you did, okay, let's say you did the first 3, and then maybe you found the Phoenix on the road and took the Phoenix and did it. So you did everything else up to the Blackfin, and now the Kanjo is not spawning in for you. That's the last vehicle that you need. The Kanjo, you can't find it at all. It's because the Phoenix is still on the map. The Dot's not, but the car is. The Kanjo has not spawned in yet. The Phoenix is still on the map as a vehicle that needs to be delivered, but the game already knows you delivered it, so it's still spawning the vehicle, but it's not going to show the blip. So you need to go find the Phoenix again, okay? Which means you physically have to look for the group that the Phoenix is in, find the Phoenix, physically find it, get in it for 60 seconds, and then at that point, the Kanjo will spawn in on the map, and then the blip will appear when you need it to. So that's the biggest tip. If you're having issues and you watch the video this far, I know it's a 2-hour-long video. Hopefully, maybe you just put it on and you're just listening to it while you're doing something else. That's probably the issue that you have, because I've done that before. When I first tried to do this, I thought it was going to be easy. I would fly around in a slow helicopter in my pressure because I didn't know any better, and that's all I had. And you get frustrated because that last thing is never coming in. The day ends, you start a new day, you start a new list, you start looking for it, and then the same thing happens because you jumped the gun and found something else. So don't take stuff out of order if you find a vehicle randomly or you have one. Now, if you have the Kanjo, or you have the money to buy the Kanjo, you could just deliver your personal car or your one that you found on the street and deliver it that way. I don't think the Kanjo's a vehicle that spawns in though. Most of these are not. Like the Yosemite, the Drift Yosemite will never spawn on in the game. So those, you're almost guaranteed that you're gonna find a blip for. But the Saber Turbo Custom, I think, spawns in. The Phoenix might somewhere, but most of these vehicles, some of them will, but sometimes you'll get a list and it's none of them will spawn in, so you're guaranteed to be able to finish the map, and as long as you don't just sell a vehicle that you had at the beginning. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something. I hope it helped you. Please like, share, subscribe, give it a thumbs up. Hopefully help you. That's all I have to say. Again, let me show you the tips and tricks. We'll just go over them real quick again. Invite-only lobby is a must. Know when the Rockstar day resets. Have the fast air vehicle like I was showing. Do not use ground spawn like we just talked about. The blips on the map that way. Start fresh on a new Rockstar day if we are having issues, like I said, and then use the resources like the GTA web.eu and a route map. The only other thing I say is remember that there is no way to initiate this. You do not have to go to the Blackboard. You do not have to look at the list. You do not have to request it to start it. They will just randomly start spawning in when you are playing the game. So if you're just in an online session and see it and pick up the vehicle, don't do it unless you plan on doing it. Maybe if it's something that you see and you want to try doing it, stop, go to an invite only, and then start from scratch and like from ground one for that first vehicle. Don't pick it up randomly off of the as a blip event that you see when you're in an online session. Unless you want to deal with a whole bunch of creepers and stuff like that. You can have friends help you, but remember that the list is going to be the same for everybody, and the spawn order is the same for everybody. So if you both find a S80RR, or they find an S80RR and you haven't found it yet, they could deliver it or give it to you, and then you could deliver it, and then the next vehicle should spawn in for them as well as you. But you guys are both looking. So if you need to, you could have a friend. You guys are both going to be working on the same vehicle, but they're not going to be able to skip ahead and go find the Kanjo while you're working on the Sultan Classic. It's not going to work that way. Like, you guys are going to get the same vehicle, just depends on who finds the blip first and does it. But once they're in it for 60 seconds, the next vehicle on their list is going to spawn in. Then they give you the vehicle, the next vehicle will spawn in for you as you're going delivering it. Then it will show up for 60 seconds. So they could start a route from the docks into the county, and you could start from the docks into the city and find out who does it first. The only thing is if you find a vehicle and deliver it and you don't let them get into it, their next vehicle is not going to spawn for them. They're still going to be looking for that last vehicle. Or it may never show up for them as another blip because you deliver the next one on their list. So just keep that in mind. But anyway, please like, share, subscribe. I'm LakeLife951. I hope you learned something. Hope that I was able to help you. Put a lot of work into this video at the beginning, so hopefully you at least watch the beginning and got some tips and tricks. Anyway, thanks for watching.